This is exam 5-2B. This is a murder mystery that takes place on the coast of North Carolina. This picture was taken just before these 5 men were left on an island to camp out and fish for a couple nights. First, you have Bob, which is the leader of the bunch. Bob is tremendously wealthy and loves to plan fishing trips with his friends. Secondly, we have John, who is married to Bob's daughter. Though Bob has enough money, he does not give much to his daughter because he wants to make her earn it on her own. Consequently, John and his wife have been struggling recently and are in need of Bob's money. Third, we have Steve, who is Bob's longtime best friend. The night this picture was taken, Bob revealed to Steve that he had slept with his wife for up to 3 years during their marriage, and Steve was not happy. Next, there's Ed, which is Bob's business partner. Ed had been stealing money from the company for years, but was not caught until recently, when Bob decided that night that it was a good time to tell Ed, and he threatened to send him to jail unless he came clean. Lastly, there's Ed's son, Tim, who has gotten caught up with some hardcore drugs, and the fishing trip was to help him escape his addiction. After a night of fishing, the bunch went to sleep in their separate tents. The next morning, Bob was found strangled to death in his tent. Luckily, there were 2 samples of DNA collected at the crime scene. The 2 samples were ran on VNTR loci to create a DNA fingerprint using gel electrophoresis. The samples were tested with the 4 suspects and the victim. Gel electrophoresis separates the DNA fragments according to their size and charge. The bands in the sample must be an exact match to a suspect in order to find them guilty. The first sample of DNA matched perfectly with the victim, Bob, at each loci, meaning he was the source of the DNA sample 1. At locus 1, sample 2 matched to both Steve and Ed. Though Tim had 1 band to match, he is the son of Ed, so he should always have 1 fragment that aligns with his father's. Therefore, we can exclude John and Tim according to locus 1. At locus 2, sample 2 matched to both Steve and Tim. We have already excluded Tim, and Ed is no longer a suspect, even though he has 1 band that matches up with the victim and his son. We can conclude that Steve is the murderer. However, Bob's legacy will live on, and genetics will continue to be a powerful tool used in forensics to find justice.